they can see it, they're going to be wanting to come to you. So don't do that right now. Put it where they can't see it. It's a standard pirate kind of rule. If they can see the money, it's theirs. Anyway, let's do some questions. There's a few things I've told you. I haven't told you everything. I haven't told you where they come from or what they eat or how to tell if they're boys or girls. What would you like to know about parrots? We'll see what this one over here says. What would you like to know about parrots?
How long can they live for?
How long can they live for? It's a good question. You see the little pink one in the back here? That's a major Mitchell cockatoo from Australia. His name is Mitch. One of those died in the zoo recently at 86 years old. We can rely on zoos to have accurate records. That's one of the things they do. And then what would it cost you to go to Central America, find a pirate in a good mood, let you hold and pet his parrot? I'm saving you thousands of dollars. Let's say hi to Willie. Alright, next person, bro. Alright, who owns this one? How many do you have? What are you, like Mormon or something? What's that, Willie? Alright, now we got other people, guys. Let's have some other people. Come on, put it up there. Hey guys, we have a line going here. We got people standing in line, let them. Let's say hi to Willie. Come on. Guys, we got a line going here. Okay, we gotta keep the line. You can't just jump in the Willie. Come here.
Go wipe them on the ground. Don't get them on your clothes. Don't lick them. Go wipe it on the ground.
Come on. Get him up. Died to die. Parrots are left and right-handed. About 90% of all parrots are left-handed. This is similar to humans, except for about 90% of all humans are right-handed. Now you're thinking, how do you tell if a parrot's left or right-handed? Well, it turns out parrots are one of the few species of birds that actually use their feet to pick things up. Most birds do not pick things up using their feet. There are a few species of birds that pick things up using their feet, but not very many. So if you pay attention to which foot the parrot is using most often to pick things up, you can tell left or right-handed. They'll usually show preference.
Cunin.
I can hear you.
Cunin.
All right, Cunin. You're going to help me show the audience how we teach a parrot to talk on cue. Okay? Now I'm going to talk to the audience for a moment, and I'm going to come back and tell you what you're going to do. All right. Audience. See the sign over here? Number one training rule. Every behavior that's reinforced is more likely to reoccur. Every behavior that's reinforced is more likely to reoccur. This is the law of science. That means if you want to see a behavior happen more often, find a way to reinforce that behavior. My job as an animal trainer is to set the animal up to succeed and hand out goodies whenever they do it right. The more frequently I can hand out goodies for them doing it right, the sooner we're going to see our target behavior. Okay, so what he's going to do is he's going to demonstrate the behavior for Zeta. Hide your back. Anyway, he's going to demonstrate the behavior for Zeta. If he does it correctly, I'm going to sound my clicker. That means he did it right and that he gets the Skittles. And then he's going to eat the Skittles with great enthusiasm. Alright, because we want Zeta to see that he's getting good things for doing it right. Alright? Alright, so here's what you do. When I point my finger to you, you're going to say hello into the microphone nice and loud. When I do this, you're going to say peekaboo into the microphone nice and loud. And when I do this, you're going to sing Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O into the microphone nice and loud. Got it? Hello, peekaboo, Old MacDonald. Here we go.
Hello.
Eat it with great enthusiasm. There's a hello from Zeta. Alright, you ready for the next one? Here we go.
Peekaboo.
All right. Here we go, Gina. All right. Ready for the big finale? Kind of like being on The Voice right here at the county fair. Here we go.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
No. I said sing it, not rap it.
Old
Sing it like you mean it, like with feeling.
Old MacDonald had
You want
a
to turn this
farm,
around so you can sit on it?
E-I-E-I-O.
You want to turn this around so you can sit on it?
I'm out of skills. You get gold medal. All right, here we go, Zena.
Old MacDonald had a farm,
There you go, Zena. This is one of those species of parrot that's not considered threatened or endangered. There's lots of blue and gold macaws left in the wild. Dingbat is not a blue and gold macaw. And you look at it and thinking, well, it looks like a blue and gold macaw. Look at it carefully, you'll see there are some differences. The first thing you're going to notice is that dingbat is a little smaller, a little different color, blue, more of a teal. Right? Dingbat doesn't have the green on his forehead like Dagger does. And dingbat has more lines on his face. Look like little mascara lines. They're actually tiny little feathers. He also has the blue underneath his chin, thus the name blue-throat macaw. The blue-throat macaw is from Bolivia. There's about 400 of them left in the wild. They're the most endangered species of macaw remaining in the wild. That means that there's more blue-throat macaws in people's homes in the state of California as pets than there are in the wild right now. Now, some people get all grumpy about that. Me, I'm quite okay with it, because if we didn't have a good reserve population like that in the wild, if we were to lose the last 400 out of Bolivia, they'd be gone. As long as we have a good reserve population like that, we can breed some of those birds. I can take the babies and prepare them and have them be wild animals and repopulate Bolivia that way. Without that reserve population, that doesn't work. The blue-throat macaw is not the most endangered species of macaw. That's the spix macaw, which is only 74 left in the world and none left in the wild in Brazil where they come from. If people were not breeding them, they would be extinct. Anyway, you want to see them do their thing?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Well, you saw him fly earlier. Lazy bird. All right, how about it, Dagger? There goes Dagger. Dagger's taking the scenic route.
Whoa, here he comes.
All right, good bird, Dagger. Off you go, off you go. All right, here we have Thor. Thor is a scarlet macaw from Central America. Cool thing about scarlet macaws, they were kept in the United States as pets 1,000 years ago. Now think about that. We didn't have cars 1,000 years ago, right? Didn't have horses. The Spaniards hadn't brought horses here yet. So if you wanted a scarlet macaw, you had to hike 650 miles south of Arizona. Go get the bird. Then you had to hike 650 miles back with the bird and the supplies to feed him. You had to want a scarlet macaw pretty darn bad, didn't you? Well, the Native American people, the Puebloan people, actually considered scarlets sacred. They valued the feathers, but they also valued the animals enough to go get them. And they actually kept them in the United States and bred them. They were breeding them at this location right here about 800 years ago. This is Paquime, Casas Grande, Mexico, just south of Arizona. And then they were also breeding them 900 years ago in Chaco Canyon, northeast New Mexico. They very much valued scarlet macaws apparently, all right? All right, you want to see Thor do his thing? There we go. Thor's taking the scenic route also. The bird. Hey, Dagger. Want to do it together? Just not. Yeah, he faked you out, didn't he, Thor? Come on, Thor. Good bird. Yeah. Getting used to doing this on stage if I can. You hear what he said? What did he say? Birds don't talk.
You hear him talking?
About 90% of all humans are right-handed. 2 toes forward, 2 toes backwards. Zygodacal. Of course, now you're thinking, how do you tell if a parrot's left or right-handed? Well, it turns out parrots don't have a clue, they just become. A couple years later, they call me up and say, hey, I've got this bird. He's ripped up my sofa, he shredded my drapes, he screams all day long. Do you want this bird? I've had over 100 birds like he's given me that people couldn't take care of them anymore. Mainly because the people didn't understand the needs of the animal before they took them home. Every animal. Good job. How about it, Jagger? You gonna go with him this time? Huh? Alright, Jagger's taking the short route. Good job.
I wanted to know what kind of parrot would be the best to have as a pet if you're starting out and where you can find them.
Okay, that's a really tough question. There's lots of species of parrots that are, but first off, let me just answer it this way. Parrots make fantastic pets if you know what you're getting into and you're set up for it. Okay, if you're not set up for it and you're clueless about what's going on, probably not going to be a good fit. And there's many different species of parrots. They're going to match different people. You know, some are small, some of them are big. All right, now we're going to try to find the sun conures. Where's my yellow birds? Yellow birds. Where's my sun conures? Come on, Dodger. Come on, Nugget.
You want to talk?
Come on, guys. Come on, Dodger. Come on, Nugget. Come on, let's go. Don't just yell. Come on, guys. Well, they came closer.
Can I say anything?
Come on, guys. Come on, Dodger. Come on, Nugget. Come on. Come on. Quit thinking about it. Get out here. Time to go to work.
Yeah, you're cute.
Thor. Come on, Thor. Come on. He's thinking about it. Come on, Thor. Your turn. Today, Thor. Come on. I got a nice view, gentle breeze. Alright, so let's go for a walk to show you their zygodacal toes. 2 toes forward, 2 toes backwards, zygodacal. Now most birds do in fact have 4 toes. They're just arranged 3 and 1 instead of 2 and 2. There are some species of birds that only have 3 toes, and the ostrich only has 2 toes. 2 toes forward, 2 toes backwards, zygodacal. Parrots are left and right-handed. About 90% of all parrots are left-handed. This is similar to humans, except for about 90% of all humans are right-handed. 2 toes forward, 2 toes backwards, zygodacal. Of course, now you're thinking, how do you tell if a parrot's left or right-handed? Well, parrots, it turns out, are one of the few species of birds actually use their feet to pick things up. Most birds do not pick things up using their feet. There are a few species of birds that pick things up using their feet, but not very many. So if you pay attention to which foot the parrot is using the most often to pick things up, you can tell left or right-handed. They usually show a preference. So, the next time you're standing in line at the grocery store and somebody comes up to you and asks you what is zygodacal, now you can tell them. I know that's been a problem. Anyway, somebody came along and taught you that biting fingers off is not a nice thing to do. Alright, Mike Tyson probably missed some of that. Anyway, I've had to teach my birds the same thing, so they're not going to bite your fingers off. But what about the birds in a pet store? What about the birds your friends and neighbors have? Are they trained the same way my birds are trained? Oh, get off. Good job. Alright, come here, Thor. Alright, here we have Thor. Thor's a scarlet macaw from Central America. Cool thing about scarlet macaws were kept in the United States. Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, West Texas. They were kept in the United States about 1,000 years ago as pets. Now think about that for just a moment. Didn't have cars 1,000 years ago, did we? Didn't have horses in the Americas 1,000 years. The Spaniards hadn't brought them here yet, so we didn't have horses. That means if you wanted a scarlet macaw, you had to hike 650 miles south of Arizona to Central America to get a scarlet macaw. Not only that, you had to hike back with the bird and all the supplies to feed him and take care of him on the way back. You had to want a scarlet macaw pretty darn bad, didn't you?
Yeah.
The Native American people, the Puebloan people, did exactly that. They brought live scarlet macaws up into Arizona and New Mexico and kept live animals. They highly valued the feathers and the live animals. If you look down here, you can see a breeding pen that's been excavated in Paquime, the Paquime site in Casas Grande, Mexico, just south of Arizona. They were also that was taking place about 900 years ago, and in Chaco Canyon, New Mexico, the Four Corners area, they were keeping and breeding parrots, scarlet macaws, 800 years ago. So they found lots of remains, and they've all been DNA tested, and they're all closely related, which means they're all being bred there. Anyway, would you like to see Thor do his thing?
Yeah!
There we go. There you go, Thor, the low flyby.
Oh, bounce it.
Good job, Thor. How about it, Dagger? You want to go for another spin with him? There we go. Come on, Thor. Dagger's taking the short route. Thor's taking the scenic route. Come on, Thor. There he comes. Come on, Thor. No, he's going to go hang out in the tree. Or go supervise the sun climbers.
Yes, I did.